I know for a lot of you dudes, chivalry is the best policy, man. And when the chick put that bat signal in the sky, you just can't resist the urge to come to their rescue every time. But as I say, when you stand for less, you fall for more. And y'all be falling for a lot of these chicks' tactics. And when the funk hit the fan, you be sitting there stuck like who done it and why. So we gonna kick this game and talk about it, man. But first, wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. Let's go.
But you want all this pimping you can't afford. Perform like a punk but wanna win his reward. Some suckers give you points but bitch you never scored. If you ain't paying pimping then bitch you getting ignored.
Okay.
I'm so sick of these.
Now don't get me wrong, it's cool to be chivalrous at the right times. But every time and all the time is not the right time. And I know it's a lot of you guys out there that you just are, rescue Ronnie to a fault. Without question, you come into a chick's rescue every time. And it's imperative to ask the right questions, and not only ask the right questions, but pay attention to the answers, because oftentimes not only is it what a chick says, but it's also what she doesn't say that answers questions. So you got to be mindful, you got to pay attention, you got to be sharp with game, right? And see, this is something that a lot of you dudes fall for all the time, and that's chicks who play the victim role. Man, and it's so many different ways that chicks play this victim role, right? But it's always gonna be a sucker available, and a lot of y'all dudes got that sucker stuff just ingrained in you to the point where you don't know any other way to be. But yeah, man, the chicks play this victim role to a T, man, and a lot of guys fall for this stuff. But again, as I say all the time, when you stand for less, you fall for more. So if you stand for more game, you'll fall for less of these tactics, right? And one way that a chick will play victim is talking about her past relationships. Now, it's always a red flag to me, right? But a lot of dudes overlook this. But whenever a chick talks about multiple past relationships and it's always her getting done wrong, like every guy is just so foul, is doing her so dirty, doing her so wrong. This dude did this to me. This guy was abusive in this way. This guy was verbally abusive, mentally abusive, physically abusive. This guy was cheating on me. This guy said this to me. He threatened me in this way. He said this and did that. And if you pay attention, the chicks that's always a victim in their past relationships, they never can tell you one thing that they did wrong. Because in their mind, or at least the role that they play in the script that they trying to feed you, they never do anything wrong. But what's funny? In those instances where you get to hear the guy's side of the story, the other party in the story that she's telling, right? Whenever you get to hear their side of the story, right? And then don't let it be a situation where you get to hear multiple guys' side of the story. Man, you come to find out that this chick is full of shit. And see, this is what a lot of dudes don't understand about the game. What keeps the pimping ahead of the 304 all the time is because pimping consults with pimping about the 304. This is why we serve each other the news when we knock 1P for his 304, because he's gonna give you some news that you can use that she's gonna refuse to give you. She ain't gonna give you the news that you can use. She's gonna refuse, right? But pimping is gonna let you know things that she ain't gonna let you know about her, right? So that way she can't run the drag on you about how he did her so wrong, when in actuality she might have been the one doing a whole lot of wrong. And if he did do any wrong, it was warranted because it was a result of the wrong that she did, right? Now, two wrongs don't make it right, but it is what it is. And a lot of times chicks will do wrong to provoke wrong from a man. And then not just that, but a lot of times chicks will do wrong, and then the man won't even respond with the wrong, but they'll try to make it seem like he did, right? But the bottom line is, a lot of times chicks will play the victim role when it comes to their past relationships, and a lot of dudes will fall for the drag, right? And then you start pulling your cape out, you start being overtly nice to her, you start showering her with things that she really don't deserve and she ain't earned, all because you call this your way of healing her, when you haven't even properly diagnosed what's going on. So you come in with a solution that ain't warranted. Your solution of what they call it, retail therapy and all that type of stuff, a lot of you guys be doing, hey man, simp shit. But hey, some of y'all are meant to be a female's mark, but for those of y'all who believe that you're not meant to be a female's mark, just be mindful of that, right? Another way chicks play victim is when it comes to their family. Now, a lot of chicks, granted, a lot of females, young ladies do come from, messed up families, right? But again, a lot of times chicks will try to make it seem like their family was just so foul, their mama was so foul, their grandmama was so foul, their father was so foul, did this and did that. And man, a lot of times this stuff will be completely made up. Again, when you have the opportunity to talk to the family, man, it'd be completely made up. But see, a lot of chicks do that with the family, as far as playing the victim with the family to you as a man that she's interested in, because it's a way of them getting sympathy from you, right? Chicks love sympathy like candy. For real. They love the way it feels, they love the way it smells, they love the way it tastes. They love everything about sympathy from a man, right? So a lot of times a chick will play the victim role when it comes to the family. And sometimes they'll try to use that as a way to justify certain behaviors, because it'll be the blame of certain things that took place in her childhood from her family. It's the reason why she does this, or the reason why she's this way, or the reason why she behaves this way or sees things this way, or whatever the case may be, right? Which leads to, as far as using things to justify, another way chicks play victim, and this is a very complicated one, but it's one to definitely be mindful of, and that's the mental health thing, right? Now, granted, I know for sure, I know people, and I've seen people and been up close and personal with people who really do have mental health issues, right? But you have, and it seems like it's a cultural type of thing these days, but you have a lot of young ladies, I've seen a lot of young ladies who play the mental health card, and it's a way of them victimizing themselves, making themselves a victim, by playing the mental health role, like they have so many mental health issues that they really don't have, right? And then when they do certain things wrong, if they disrespect you, it's because they have ADHD, or they have this mental health issue or that mental health issue. If they do something inconsiderate, if they're irresponsible, if they have a certain responsibility that they're supposed to tend to, but they neglect that responsibility, it's because of this other mental health issue. You dig? If they were supposed to remember to do something at a certain time, but then they don't remember to do it, it's because of this completely different mental health issue, right? So it's like, whenever it's time to be accountable, whenever it's you have a responsibility to attend to, and you fall short, it's not your fault, it's the mental health issue's fault, right? That's what a lot of these chicks will do, man. And I think this is probably the one that a lot of cats fall for more than any of the other ways that chicks play victim, right? Man, the mental health one is a big one, But a lot of times don't nothing be wrong with these chicks. And a lot of times this should be self-diagnosed, right? See, this is the thing that makes social media so wild, so crazy. Because a lot of times chicks will see certain things on social media, especially TikTok, but just social media period, right? They'll see certain things on social media about somebody who supposedly has a mental health issue, and they're like, oh, I went through the same thing that person went through. We have a lot in common. So that means I got the same mental health issue that they have. And this is how they diagnose themselves. So a lot of this stuff that they claim are mental disorders or mental health issues that they have are self-diagnosed based on some bullshit that they seen on the internet, or some other invalid way that they came to the conclusion that they have these different mental health issues. And it's like a buffet. Like, you know how when you go to a buffet, you see the mashed potatoes and you put the gravy on it, then you'll see some chicken over here and grab that, macaroni and cheese. They treat mental health issues like that. It's like, ADHD, that sound good. Autism, okay, yeah, I'll take that too. Bipolar, yeah, let me put that on my plate too. Borderline personality disorder, oh yeah, let me put that on my plate too. And it's like they just go to the buffet and they just put and you'll have one chick that's putting all these things on herself, right? And then they'll even play the role like, oh, I went to school for this and that's how I was able to diagnose myself. Crazy, right? But the bottom line is, a lot of chicks play victim, man. And I'm not saying the mental health thing to make light of it. I'm not trying to undermine it, because again, like I said, I know for sure there are people that have mental health issues. I know some personally, right? That, things that are beyond their control, right? And then that's another thing too. A lot of times these chicks, they'll play these mental health roles like they really got these issues, and they be so misinformed and uninformed. They don't know the history of mental health as a whole. They don't know the history of the supposed mental health issues that they put on themselves, and they don't know the solution to these things, right? And they'll try to make it seem like it's just something that's incurable or beyond their control, when a lot of things, if they really did have these issues, are within their control to deal with. They don't care about the solution. They don't care about mental fitness, right? They just play the role like, oh, I got this mental health issue, ain't nothing I can do about it, and you just gonna have to deal with it if you gonna deal with me. But it's a way that they play victim though, right? So but yeah, man. And it's a whole bunch of other ways that chicks play victim too, right? I just gave you a few tablespoons of different ways how they do, but it's just something to be mindful of, right? Whenever a chick plays the victim role, or she's talking about things that she's been through, but she can never tell you in any situation ever in life where she was wrong, or if something happened to her, how she played a role in that thing happening to her because it's a result of something that she did to somebody else. They can never do that, right? These types of chicks. Shout out to the women out there who do have accountability and can say, yeah, you know what? I was in this situation with this person and they did this to me, but I understand because had I not did this first, they wouldn't have did that. Or, people that can, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say nothing, right? When it comes to like past relationships and things like that. Shout out to those grown, mature women. You dig? But let that marinate on your mind one time. Freeze is it. Go ahead, put some of this good old love in your body like so. And of course, as always, long live the incomparable Sinful to P. We out. Dig this.
Yeah.
I've been stroking relentless, took in waves like this. I spoke into existence for her to pay like this. In the trenches on a day like this, traffic consistent, and so I have to insist that she relay my chips. It's a trap with her name on it and my game on it. Any forces coming against this game, shame on it. Standing on my pimpin' from day one and remain on it. It carried me through every terrain and I gained on it. Experience joy and pain on it, sustained on it.
But getting back to this game that I never left.
Baby, I wish